Hey ladies and gents, it's the Considered Man here, out on a beautiful, beautiful early summer, late spring afternoon, early evening. And as promised, I'm just about to do another one of these videos which tells you a little bit more about how it is that I arrive at my songs and the compositions and lyrics and the like. And I'm just going to take you on a bit of a journey down into our little, well, I say little, it's quite a large central park in Melton Mowbray in Leicestershire, which is in the East Midlands of the United Kingdom. In Leicestershire. Oh, got a few people that seem to know me here. So I think, do I know you? But I know him. So I thought I was just being waved at indiscriminately. How are you, mate? Oh, are they? I must leave then. I'm not respectable at all. How are you, mate? All right. Yeah, you're just doing a bit of video down at the park at the moment. So yeah, it looks like you've got a few sitting down, so that's good. Yeah, excellent. Say again? No, I'm just going to finish off this video. It's about I'm doing a series of videos on how it is that I write the songs that I put up on the YouTube channel. So I don't know if you want to get in there. Here's Tom, a friend of mine. So we'll probably edit that in. So yeah, I'm in Caffe Italia. I've just been dragged into Caffe Italia in the centre of Melton Mowbray near the car park, and there's a few people that I know in here. So as away from Tom, erstwhile Tom, fantastic vocalist and also talented musician all round. So he's going to be helping us soon with some of our videos and some of our music tracks as well. So I'm going to say bye to him, let him get on with his job. I'll see you later, Tom. See ya. Yeah, so let me just back up a little bit. I want just to be able to show you Caffe Italia in the background there. It's a lovely little cafe on Church Street in Melton Mowbray. Church Street is one of the nicer streets that we have in Melton Mowbray. It's adjacent to the church, as you might expect with the name Church Street. But yes, anyway, so it's a beautiful, beautiful evening, early spring, late summer. Early summer evening, and we're heading down for a walk into the little park that we have in the middle of the town. So by popular demand, I've been asked to talk a little bit more about how it is that I arrive at the songs that I compose and write. So in answer to those requests, I'm now going to do some videos that take you through some of the songs that I've written, which are now on my YouTube channel, and also some of them are now going to start appearing on the Christian Street Switch TV channel. And so rather than just being able to listen to the music and listen to the lyrics and the videos that we do alongside, there's going to be these little explanations as to how it is that I arrived at each particular song. So the first song that we're going to take a look at is called War and Peace, and this is the first of 8 songs that I'm going to be covering in a bit more detail. And I'm going to do them excuse me, in chronological order, so that you get a feel for the different types of songs that I write. They're not always in the same sort of style, so that would be termed as I write songs cross genre, i.e. across different types of music and songs. And I write as they come to me, but you'll start to learn a little bit more as I cover some of the songs that I've done. And obviously each will have its own story, its own lyrics, its own music. And they are sometimes quite different in character and indeed with respect to the messages that I'm trying to share with people who might be listening and hopefully singing along. So yeah, War and Peace. Well, I suppose the clue's in the title, isn't it? What is it about? It's about war and peace. And of course, although it was the song was prompted by the war in Ukraine, as it says in the notes below the video, which I'm going to leave a link to, the wars can appear in any country, in any part of the world. And this one was obviously prompted by what was going on in Ukraine and what is still going on in Ukraine. And this song that I wrote was in collaboration with written in collaboration with a friend of mine, a guy called Cagey, who wrote the lyrics of the verses, with a little bit of help from me, and I wrote the choruses to this particular song as well. And obviously the music and the videography and whatever is all down to me. But yeah, what was it about? Well, yes, about war and peace. And of course the song is characterised by sort of 2 verses followed by a chorus. And I think there's a good few verses in this one, so yeah, do follow the link to go and have a listen to it, so that you can get a feel for what it's actually about. So how did I actually start this song? Well, I started this song with basically a riff, which is basically a chord progression, which started the whole thing off. And of course, with many songs, they don't all start in the same way. Many of my songs start off with a riff or a chord progression which I've just arrived at through something that I'm sort of find myself singing or humming along in the background while I'm doing day-to-day tasks. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and have a line of lyrics sort of come to me, and what that means is that sometimes, well, I always have a lyric book by my bed, and also a dictaphone so I can hum tunes into it in the middle of the night. And also I have the lyric book so that if I get a line of lyrics which inspires me and wakes me up in the middle of the night, then obviously I can jot those down so that I can develop them perhaps the next day, week, or maybe sometimes years later. And I'll talk about a song that I started in 1981, which I wrote the actual music for, and it's only just now recently, well, in the last 2 years, had the lyrics written for it, both of which I did. So sometimes the lyrics or the music can remain as orphans for quite some time until they find an appropriate partner to be married to, if that makes sense. So that's something that does often happen. And as you might expect, I've got quite a lot of notebooks that go back over many years, quite a lot of scraps of music on oldie styley manuscript paper, which again go back over many years. And sometimes I revisit these, just have a quick read through. It's also that kind of sometimes a bit of an aid memoir as to what I was thinking about certain things over a period of many years. So on the War and Peace thing, song that I've written, you can hear it going on in the background. I'm just going to switch this camera over again so that we don't get blinded by the sun. Yes, as I say, the lyrics to this particular song were written by Cagey and the chorus is by me. But yes, it talks about how it can be that you can be a normal, ordinary citizen of either gender and be living in what you consider to be a fairly stable society, when all of a sudden the politicians or the military-industrial complex suddenly decide they need to make some more profit out of other people's misery, and they invent a war. And this happens all the time. I'm sure you're aware of this, people. A lot of the people that listen to my music and a lot of the people that watch Street Switch TV are quite well up on things, and they like to sort of keep an eye on what's going on, and obviously not always sucked in by what it is that we're meant to believe from the mainstream media. The song that we're talking about at the moment is going on in the background, and because this video might extend more than 7 minutes, which is the length of the song, which in song terms is quite a long song, it may be that you'll hear the song being repeated in the background of this particular video, so do bear with me on that one. So yeah, if you read the lyrics, which are in the pinned comments on this particular video, certainly on my Considered Man YouTube channel, I'll get Christian to copy them so that it's a similar sort of layout on his channel as well. Yeah, I invite you to read the lyrics. Cagey did a fantastic job of harnessing the thoughts that some people might have as they find themselves the victims of a war which most ordinary citizens, of course, would never want. and was in many ways foisted upon them. And as a consequence of that, the lyrics are written in a way which is from sort of what you might call first-hand experience, I suppose. So many people that might read the lyrics in order to enjoy the narrative of the song might also find themselves hopefully singing along with it. But as with many of the songs that I write, there is a story to them, and of course the story to this one is one of significant social conscience, of course, and draws our attention to the fact that war is very rarely brought about by the citizens of any country in which a war may break out or be fought, or a country that it may be fought in. And of course, ordinary citizens who just want a happy life, they have their lives ruined by these war interventions and belligerents from countries probably often outside of their own country. And of course, this is unwelcome most of the time. And of course, it ruins people's lives because they lose loved ones, they lose parents, grandparents, children, and spouses as well. And as a consequence of that, war is completely unwelcome. Sorry, I've got a chap in front of me who thinks that I'm filming him, which of course I'm not. And of course, war absolutely decimates countries and the populations of those countries as well. And the only people that really gain out of it are the politicians, but more importantly, the military-industrial complex and the powers that be who profit from the manufacture and sales of arms. And of course, this is very prevalent in situations where war is fought, and as a consequence of this, a lot of money changes hands, a lot of money is made, and then of course it's not just money that's made to pay for the armaments that are used to fight the war, but it's also the vast profits that are made by organisations who are then awarded contracts to go in and to rebuild the buildings and the infrastructure that has been basically turned into rubble as a consequence of those wars being carried out. So make no mistake in thinking that war isn't a business, because it absolutely is a business. And the military industrial complex and the elites and the central banks that fund all of this do it purposely. And for those viewers who think otherwise, that these wars break out as a consequence of natural problems between populations within a country, I'm not saying those type of wars don't exist, but in the main, before a war starts, people have already done the checks and balances and worked out how much money can be made from a war, and the various things that have to be paid for in terms of humanitarian aid as well. So it's a business, and those people who think that war is not a business probably need to associate themselves with the fact that it actually is a business. And there's ample evidence. If you look online and you follow the right type of media, you'll find that there is a lot of information which demonstrates that war is a business, and massive amounts of profits are made by organisations that are essentially created to make money from people's misery. But getting back to the song, I hope you enjoy the song, folks. As I say, it'll be appearing on it is already on my channel, but a link to that particular song will be provided in this short video, and also on the video which is related to the song as it appears on Christian's YouTube TV channel, and that will, of course, be something that you can watch on Christian's channel, as well as the channel that I run as a songwriter and musician. So that's really kind of all that I've got to share. But what I would like to do as a final sort of thank you, really, is to thank the other musicians that were involved, the wonderfully talented and also wonderfully urbane Will Smith, who's a bass guy. He's not always available to help us with songs, but when he does, it brings an extra level of quality to the songs. And being a professional musician and also music professor, he has a really vast array of experience and knowledge, which is always a pleasure to work with. I mean, I'm not a professional musician, but I consider myself a reasonably semi-gifted amateur, so to speak. And so, yes, my big thanks go out to Will Smith for his help on this track and indeed others. And obviously a big thanks to Cagey for his input in terms of lyrics. Wonderful lyricist, not always available to help me out. He's got a family, and also he has a business as a funeral celebrant, which keeps him very busy. And of course, we also want to express our genuine thanks to Tori Hoyles, who helps us out singing in the choruses. And she always brings an element of, I don't know, sort of fantasy and beauty to the things that we do. We've worked on a number of songs together, and she's a truly wonderful and professional musician and star in her own right. She's in the West End often, and then she's obviously has her duties as a dance and singing teacher as well. So she's involved in music and musical theatre on a day-to-day basis. So we really benefit from working with her. And not only is she gifted in terms of what she brings to the songs that I write, she's also an absolutely lovely person. And she seems to enjoy working on the songs that we do together. Although, because of her busy schedule, she's not always available to be involved. But when she is involved, she gives her all and brings something really special to the song. And it's a joy to work with her as well. So, hello there. And just to sort of make you aware, I don't really like blowing my own trumpet per se, but the rest of the production was done by me. All of the recording of the musical instruments, the playing of the musical instruments, except bass, was done by me, and also the video was put together by me from stock footage that's available for those who wish to go and look for it. So I hope overall, I hope I thanked everybody. If I've forgotten anybody, I do apologise. And I hope overall the song is thought-provoking and gives an insight into the fact that there are people like myself and Cagey and the other musicians that I've worked alongside on this particular song that really do care about what it is that we share with people in the outside world in terms of our feelings about conflict and perhaps how it all really ought to come to an end. And we mustn't lose sight of the tyranny and often the dictatorships who are involved in these kind of conflicts, because they're part of the problem. They would have us believe that they're part of the solution, but they're far from it, in my opinion. I think a lot of these people are driven by ego, power, and obviously there's the consideration of money and finances. And of course, that unfortunately is what drives some of these conflicts. And often the populations of the countries are totally undermined and have their lives ruined by these things, which is, of course, hugely unfortunate. Anyway, so I think, well, I hope I've helped people understand a little bit more about how this particular song was brought about. And also, in future episodes, I'll also talk a little bit more about, excuse me a moment. Yes, in future videos about the songs that I write, I'll start to talk a little bit more about the music tech that I use in order to record these songs, which are all done essentially in my front room. So you don't have to have a big fancy studio to do all of these things. And as probably most of you realise, it's kind of a hobby for me. I've always been involved in songwriting and playing music at a sort of amateur level, and it's something that I get a great deal out of in terms of peace and quiet, and you know, it gives me an opportunity to get some of the thoughts that trouble me outside of me and out into the public, and to share them. And of course, it is hoped that these songs do resonate with people, and that people understand what it is that I'm hoping to achieve by sharing them. And that's kind of where we are at the moment. But yes, I'll talk a little bit more about the technology, so that people who want to start doing the same sort of thing that I do can start to have a handle on what it is that you need to begin as a songwriter, and a musician and a home producer and home recording person. And also I'll start to talk a little bit about some of the books and the references that I use in order to enhance my knowledge and experience, so that people can also get a better handle on what it is that they might have to research in order to help you on your journey as a fledgling producer, songwriter and musician. And I wish you all the best in that. So I hope this has been of use. I hope it's not been too long and too boring, and encourages people who really do want to engage in writing their own stuff and producing it, and maybe starting your own YouTube channel as well, because it's an interesting thing to do, and it's also something that can be very helpful with people, or for people who have some issues with mental health, for example. And so it has lots and lots of benefits, and if I only help one person to understand their life better, or I help one person in terms of the song resonating with just one person, then I'd be happy with that. I think that would be a wonderful thing. And so I'll leave you with that for the time being, and I'll sign off, and I'll say, whoever you're with, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, I hope you have a fantastic evening. And it's a beautiful, beautiful evening in the East Midlands of the United Kingdom. And I look forward to people making comment on this particular video. I hope you like the song, of course. I hope you really like the lyrics, and I hope it encourages you to come back time and again to have some more interaction with me and learn a little bit more about how the other songs that I've written have been arrived at too. So that's me done for this evening. I'm off back for a nice cup of tea. Actually, it might go for a cold drink. Hey, it's beautiful out there, so it might be a cold drink. But yeah, I'll say ciao for now, and have a great evening, and see you in the next one. You take care. Ciao for now.